Guys and dolls, another early one for Freedom Dad. And we've got court today. We have our Pinky up today. Hopefully this will be the end of this carry on. We've got Glenn up today. Hopefully it's the end of this carry on. And Stevie Baker's up today as well. Not too sure what Stevie's up for. I don't think it's anything too serious or anything that warrants any prison, you know. To be honest, I'm more worried about Pinky and Glenn, you know what I mean? Just because fucking what Pinky's been through, like bailed, arrested, remanded, and then he went through hell in prison. Solitary confinement the whole time he was there. No fags, no nothing. And yeah, it wasn't a good experience. And you know, the bottom line is everything he's been arrested for, all been dropped one after the other, as I've been saying. Just a lot of nonsense. Bail conditions to stop him going to demos, bail conditions to stop him going online, complete breaches of his freedoms and his right to demonstrate and his right to go on social media like anybody else, you know. And then we got Glenn, of course, who's been going through this for about over a year, coming up 2 years, I think, almost, like, you know what I mean, crazy. And all because of a magazine called Red Hand in the Sand. I meant to bring it with me, I forgot I left it there, just to show you it. We've all got it, everybody's got it, you know. There's nothing illegal about it. The guy that wrote it hasn't been arrested, but yet Glenn's been going through this nonsense for the last 14, 15 months. It's just an attack on patriots, guys, you know what I mean. It's the only weapon they've got, because they know by not silencing us, we are going to waken up our country, and our country aren't going to be fooled. Our country isn't, they're not going to use our empathy and tell us that we need to open our doors to these poor refugees, because it's all nonsense. Not when you got 55 Muslim countries around the world, not when you got so many rich countries around the world refusing to take these men, and men and women, men, fighting AIDS men. And they're not here to integrate, they're not here to marry our women, they're not here to start families, they're here for something else. What that something else, I think we're going to find out in the next year, unfortunately. You know, these guys, they're putting them straight into security jobs. Guys that are coming into this country with no ID, going straight into security jobs. How is that even possible? So the next step's the police, you know, and they're going to be policing us. When they bring in the digital ID and the facial recognition and you aren't happy about it, when you're out there protesting, there'll be Afghanistani men and Pakistani men that'll be fighting you back. Just think about that for a wee minute. There's no other reason, you know. These men have travelled through 5, 6 safe countries around the world, very determined to get here. So they're not that vulnerable, you know. And you hear the far left, the Palestinians, calling us all Nazis and racist, just because they're too stupid, too dumb. The dumbest of society you seen on Saturday there. You truly did. You seen the dumbest of society out there shouting for Hamas and Palestine. Free Palestine. Free Palestine from what? Free Palestine from Hamas. Free the Palestinians from the terrorist grip of the Hamas leadership that's been using them as human shields, you know, gathering weapons and camps and bases under hospitals and schools. And then the Palestinian Belfast clowns that walk about our city, complain about Israel bombing hospitals, have no clue, have they? No clue. No thought of what them men done in October to them poor Israelis. What they done to the women and the pregnant women and the children. You know, the stories are horrific. And that's what we do. We highlight that. We call out the dumb ones, you know what I mean? The far left. And this is what happens. We're up at the crack of dawn every other week, going to court, you know, to defend against trumped up ridiculous charges. You know, memorabilia. Glenn's in from, you got to understand this. Glenn is on bail, not allowed to go to demos, got to sign on every week. Persecution, that is, because they can do it, because they can get away with it, and our politicians stay silent. You know, our politicians stay silent and let them do this to our men. But yeah, There's men coming behind me that will call these men out, you know. There's a lot of men doing a lot of work right now. And I know the shady past and everything. Some people can think that they can get away with just not listening to Freedom Dad. I'm just the start of it. I'm the start of the wave that's coming. And he's not going to get away with keeping being silent when our men are being persecuted in the courts of Belfast. Like you all drink your champagne and eat your caviar because you're getting paid the big bucks. You don't care about us wee guys that are on the street any longer, but you will shortly, I can guarantee you that. Because I know what's coming. Freedom Dad knows what's coming. And the men and women of Ulster aren't going to put up with this much longer. You keep putting these people into our country, you keep calling us far right and racist, you keep persecuting our men, you will get a reaction. You will get a reaction eventually. There's no two ways about it. You know, I do my best to keep a lid on things, but I only tell you the facts of what's coming and how people feel in the street and how angry people are. And I ain't going to talk about Ballymena right now because I'm too early in the morning. I'm a bit grumpy, so I don't want to say anything I make me regret. But I'll tell you this, people of Ballymena, we have not forgot you. We have not forgot you, and somebody will be held accountable. Either politicians, judges, lawyers, I don't know, but somebody's responsible for letting the crimes go on in our country without anybody being persecuted, allowing men to leave this country, helping them, aiding and abetting them to leave this country whenever the shit hits the fan. Them days are going to stop because we're not standing for it. We're not being replaced. We're not having our men and women fighting for the scraps in this country. I'm Freedom Dad. I'll be a video soon.